The movie begins in a tattoo shop owned by an old, experienced man who is working on a young gangster. A minion brings in an envelope filled with black sand. The gangsters don't understand what it means, but the old man freezes in shock. He reveals that the black sand signifies the arrival of the deadliest ninjas in the world. He encountered them long ago and knows firsthand how dangerous they are. When the gangsters call him a coward, he shows them a nasty scar on his chest, explaining that it was caused by a ninja attack. He was born with a heart on the right side of his chest, which is the only reason he survived. Suddenly, a man's head is sliced in half, splattering blood everywhere. A wire drops from the ceiling and pulls another man upwards, only for pieces of his gut to fall back to the ground. The ninjas remain hidden in the shadows, slicing bodies and limbs in one go, creating a bloodbath. Only after everyone is dead do we see the ninjas emerging from the dark corners of the room. We are then introduced to the Ozunu clan of Japan, a secretive group of ninjas led by the ruthless Lord Ozunu. The clan collects children from around the world and subjects them to brutal training to become ultimate ninja assassins. They are known among world leaders but remain hidden from the general public. Anyone who provides the clan with 100 pounds of gold can hire their assassins to ensure the death of their target. The Ozunu clan has been operating from the shadows for over 100 years and is responsible for the deaths of high-profile figures such as the Russian president, the Japanese Prime Minister Jeffrey Epstein, and many others. Those who know about the clan live in fear of encountering them. In one training session, Lord Ozunu introduces a new kid named Raizo to the group. Abandoned by his parents, Raizo is taken in by the clan leader. Lord Ozunu senses that Raizo has the potential to become the next leader of the clan, and because of this, Raizo's training is particularly harsh. By the time he is 10, his body is covered in scars from the punishments he receives for making mistakes. One of the important qualities the clan instills in their trainees is to endure pain and persevere through the most extreme conditions. Raizo is made to walk down a squeaky wooden floor, and a single sound results in his feet being cut by a kaiketsu shogue. At night, he can hardly sleep because of the pain. One night, he experiences kindness for the first time when a girl named Kirikou, a fellow ninja in training, puts ointment on his wounds. The kids are taught to suppress all emotions, but Kirikou is different. She doesn't believe in the violence and killings that the clan supports. As time passes, Raizo and Kirikou grow up together, rarely talking but always looking out for each other. Raizo becomes the most talented ninja Lord Ozunu has ever trained. However, in a match with his senior, Takashi, Raizo loses due to a foul tactic used by his opponent. Instead of reprimanding Takashi, the master blames Raizo for being weak and uses an extremely painful finger-pushing technique on him, causing Raizo to crumple in pain. His ultimate test is to survive the night without medical assistance. Upon returning the next morning, Ozunu sees Raizo ready for the new day's training and is proud of him for passing the test. Soon, Raizo becomes the most talented ninja in the clan, capable of defeating opponents while blindfolded and with his hands bound. Kirikou is proud of him, but she becomes increasingly disenchanted with Ozunu's way of life. She frequently disregards the clan's rules, and Raizo warns her, fearing that if the leader finds out, he will kill her. Kirikou responds that her heart is with Raizo, so it can never be taken. During a training session, Kirikou is asked to hurt an opponent with a knife. When she is unable to do it, Ozunu cuts her face and throws her into a cage. Raizo sneaks out to meet her and gives her water. A few days later, on a rainy night, Kirikou climbs a wall to escape and encourages Raizo to join her. However, he chooses to stay, wanting to remain loyal to the clan, as it is all he has ever known. Eventually, Kirikou is captured and set to be executed. Senior Takashi impales her through the heart in front of everyone. A part of Raizo dies that day, but he still decides to stay loyal to the clan. The scene cuts to a few years later in Berlin at Europol headquarters. A forensic teacher named Micah has found evidence about the existence of the Ozunu clan, unaware of how dangerous this information is. She brings it to her senior at work, Maslow. Initially, he refuses to believe in a secret ninja organization known only to the elites. However, Micah shows him reports proving the connection between the flow of money from world leaders and the deaths of many prominent figures. Intrigued, Maslow decides to dig further into the matter. Eventually, they discover that a high-ranking KGB agent named Sabaten had made similar reports in the past. As his work gained recognition, he was dismissed from his post for being delusional and was eventually killed. Meanwhile, Raizo is also in Berlin, living in a shabby apartment for a special task. He trains every morning on a block of nails, just as his master taught him. One day, he goes to a local laundry shop and comes across a woman who seems friendly. However, he instantly recognizes her as a ninja. The two attack each other, engaging in a tough fight. A while later, blood drips out of a washing machine, and the girl's body spins inside of it. Meanwhile, Micah takes her investigation a step further and meets with the wife of the former agent who was killed for talking about the clans. The woman reveals that her husband, once strong and courageous, became a coward after the scandal. He fortified their home with multiple locks on every door and window, and kept every corner well lit to eliminate shadows where ninjas could hide. Despite his precautions, one night the lights went out, and he was killed the next day at work. The following evening, a higher official comes to Micah's office for evaluation, clearly there to keep an eye on her due to rumors about her curiosity regarding matters outside her jurisdiction. That night, Micah cautiously returns home to find a power outage in the entire block. Despite the darkness, she enters her apartment but is attacked by a ninja. Surprisingly, another ninja saves her life and kills the assassins. It's Rizzo. In a flashback, we see the adult Rizzo on his mission to complete his first assassination. Rizzo lets out all his frustration and brutally kills the target. After the mission, he meets the rest of the clan on the rooftop, where Lord Ozunu praises him and calls him closer. To everyone's surprise, Rizzo attacks Ozunu with the Kayaketsu Shoge, cutting him across the face and blinding one eye. His fellow ninja retaliates, pushing him off the building after injuring him severely. Rizzo barely survives the fall by landing in the water. Since recovering, Rizzo has been working against the clan, intervening in all of Ozunu's assassination attempts. He saved Micah's life for the same reason. They drive to a hotel and change their clothes because ninjas use a special smelling technique to track them. Following this, Micah calls Maslow and informs him that she is with Rizzo. Maslow, who has been ordered to capture Rizzo, knows that Rizzo is not their primary opponent, but has to obey orders for his own safety. When the three meet to discuss the next step in the plan, Rizzo is surrounded by police and arrested. Rizzo is taken to a hideout and chained in a solitary prison. Micah discovers that Maslow arrested him out of desperation but refuses to let go of Rizzo because he believes the prison is the safest place for him at night. Micah approaches Rizzo and offers him water. He seizes the opportunity to warn her that the assassins will arrive soon. Micah tries to alert Maslow, but it's too late. The lights go out, and the ninjas emerge from the shadows. Despite the soldiers' advanced weapons, they prove weak against the skilled warriors. Micah unlocks the chains from Rizzo's hands just before he is killed. He fights the ninjas and urges Micah to run away, knowing he can't save them both. Rizzo, the best student the Ozunu clan has ever had, struggles against the horde of ninjas. Eventually, he and Takashi end up on the road, with Takashi prepared to end Rizzo's life for good. However, Micah arrives just in time and hits Takashi with her car. She brings Rizzo to a hotel, where he is severely injured but refuses to see a doctor. Micah sits beside him, talking to his unconscious self. Micah apologizes to Rizzo for not being able to be of more help to him and expresses her gratitude for saving her life. She then activates a tracking device to alert Maslow of their location. However, before the police can arrive, the assassins suddenly appear and abduct Rizzo. When the police arrive, they only find Micah sitting on the sofa. She informs them that Rizzo was taken just 10 minutes ago. Back at the clan's base, Rizzo is presented to Lord Ozunu, who gives him one last chance to apologize. Rizzo refuses, enraging Ozunu further. Ozunu had once believed that Rizzo would replace him as the master of the clan. He makes Rizzo stand in the same position where Kirikou was executed. Rizzo endures the finger-jabbing technique 3 times, vomiting blood each time. Remarkably, he also vomits out a tracking device before the ninjas notice it. Micah, accompanied by an entire police force, storms the premises and causes chaos. Many ninjas are killed in explosions, eliminating their advantage of hiding in the dark. In the ensuing battle, casualties occur on both sides. Rizzo confronts Takashi and his followers, despite the odds not being in his favor. He defeats all the ninjas and awaits Takashi's attack. The two engage in a fierce battle, and Rizzo emerges victorious. He dismembers Takashi's limbs and eventually neck cut off. Rizzo faces his former master, Ozunu, who remains calm while chaos reigns outside. Ozunu demonstrates his expertise by disappearing and reappearing behind Raizo, sending him flying with a push. They both draw their swords and engage in a fierce sword fight. Ozunu offers Raizo another chance to apologize, claiming to be his father, but Raizo rejects this, declaring that he is no one's son and that killing Ozunu will be his first true breath in life. They leap at each other, but Ozunu disappears once again. Suddenly, Micah enters the room, hoping to assist Raizo. However, Ozunu reappears from the shadows and impales her with his sword through her chest. The fight seems to be in Ozunu's favor until Raizo uses the same disappearing trick, repeatedly slicing Ozunu's body from the shadows. Ultimately, Raizo kills him with a sword to his shoulder. Raizo carries Micah outside, where paramedics come to her aid. It is revealed that she was also born with a heart on the right side of her chest, ensuring her survival. In the last scene, Raizo fulfills Kirika's wish by jumping off the wall of the academy. The film ends. Subscribe for more content.